Test, test, test. Hello, hello. Are you good? All right, I think we will get started. Sorry for the delay. Anybody that is watching went a little long in workshop and a few other things in the Finance Committee meeting, so just wanted to welcome them and welcome you. And if we get started, we're just going to start with our Pledge of Allegiance, please. Thanks. Thank you, everyone. All right. So first up, I guess, is me and our president's report. So I did write one out, and this was done by me, not ChatGPT, so I will read it. So tempting, I'll tell you, since I write so fast. All right. Welcome again to all of you. I know we don't have many people here, but for posterity's sake, I know we're starting to approach the start of things, so we're still in summer, but we're getting close. I know some of the summer events are still happening and finishing up, but for many of the students, in particular clubs and sports, they're deep into the excitement and hard work of double practices and training to get the season off to the best possible start. So it's a fond memory of myself in those times and those days. As always, I extend my heartfelt thanks to each of you for making everyday work and for prioritizing the investment in every student's educational and personal journey. With the start of this 90th year, with celebrations and remembrances of our past, along with the acknowledgement of the hard work so many have done and who have come before us. We are here today in large part because of the efforts and focus of our collective community. As we begin this year, we look to take the opportunity to tell the story of Lake Forest High School through the years, as well as highlight the efforts being made today to support and stand up the educational system that has many additional required operational components than the past decades did when I was here as a Lake Forest High School graduate. My daughters are living through a different time as students, and I think every parent or adult who has had the journey of time would say the same. Technology and security, to mention two obvious areas, are significantly different from what they were for me in 1986. We are also making some significant updates to the building thanks to the support of our community. But there are other elements, dedicated teachers, staff, and traditions that remind me things have not changed all that much. Like our senior star, still positioned with honor in the front hall of our school, it is intended to guide our well-prepared graduates into the future. We are fortunate to have the resources and interested leaders in this community to commit to creating the significant number of opportunities and support for pursuing excellence in all its forms. We will continue, as past boards have done, to put all the stakeholders in our view and to drive the betterment of this district and our supporting communities. Thanks so much. With that, I'll pass to our district leadership for their updates. Dr. Montgomery.
Thank you so much, Mr. Noble. The topics tonight are going to include a report that is called out under letter D on the agenda, which is the Shared Services Annual Report. It is baked into the superintendent's report, and I just want to call everyone's attention to that should you be watching at home or watch later. So we'll start with that and then move through, touch on an admin retreat we just had, talk about some construction spotlights from the board, move through on some safety and security topics, finish with the 90th celebration, and then some back to school exciting topics. And we're going to share this report. We changed the format last year. We're continuing with that with both Doctors Fitzsimmons and Lennart joining me for one singular presentation that will be timely and effective. Start your stopwatches now. Here we go. Shared Services Annual Report. This is something that we started 2 years ago where we made the commitment after a study on the benefits of shared services and really the question that was asked to me in my interview, which is at the end of your first year, we would like you, this is the board speaking, to have me give my assessment of should we stay shared services or should we split. And then at the end of that, recommending that we should stay shared services for some of the reasons I'm going to outline tonight, we also made the commitment that annually we will share out how the districts are benefiting from this arrangement year over year to make sure it's on the forefront of people's mind about the benefits and the why behind this agreement, which is now entering in its 21st year of shared services. The methodology of the report or the analysis is based off of the base salaries, pension obligations, and basic health insurance for our employees. What it does not include is related expenses. So I want to talk about the report and analysis, talk about humans that we are employing more so than the related expenses, and I'll call out some of those in a little bit. The current shared service full-time equivalent employees is 36.5 staff members. Remember that this is a specific point in time. So it's July 1st of 2025, just like last year's was July 1st of 2024. And there's fluctuations that happen throughout the year, and that's why we timestamp it at a specific moment in time. If you also remember in the past, and hopefully this will become more top of mind as you hear this year over year, when we're looking at this analysis, we no longer look at how much money we're saving. We're looking at how many employees we would have to add for the districts to act as separate entities. So it's essentially how much resources are being reallocated or infused within the districts because of a shared service arrangement that would be taken away if you had to backfill certain personnel. Acknowledging that it's not a one-for-one, there's going to have to be difficult conversations that happen. For example, you may not have the superintendent's roles for each district. If you have two superintendents, may assume some of the assistants' responsibilities if you were to go into that route. Some FTEs would have to be a one-for-one, but not all of them, and I think it's important to acknowledge that. The differential in this analysis is 11.5 additional employees over both districts. And then when you translate that into financial impact, that means that 115 would have an additional $974,000 in annual costs, and 67 would have $782,000, which equates to about $1.76 million annually that would be reallocated to FTE if we were to move away from shared services. Again, I'm careful to not use the word savings. I'm using it as how much it would cost us if we separated. When you look at that over a 5-year forecast, which we operate in annual budgets and 5-year forecast, that translates to $8.8 million of impact in a forecast in personnel cost alone. Remember, the analysis is only looking at personnel, but it is bigger than the personnel costs, as I talk about in bullet point 2, which is, don't forget that there is about $1 million worth of technology equipment, licensing, and infrastructure that's accounted, and there's at least 13 other shared contracts that would need to be negotiated separately for individual districts. Contracts such as the phone and internet, or computer and security management software, the website. Those things are all combined together, and we get benefits from the cost savings by going together for those individual contracts. I'm going to take a break right now. Oh, the last point's important. Sometimes we forget that there, in not so distant past, 67 had its own administrative space in Deer Path. And if the districts were to separate, the 67 administration would need to recapture some of the space in one of the buildings that are in 67, acknowledging that all shared service personnel are housed in a 115-owned building. That is the essence of the analysis. Does anybody at the board have questions before I move on with the superintendent's report of the benefits, or for this portion of the report?
I just have one question. It seems to me, and I don't know the full history because I'm relatively new to the community, but when I first joined the 67 board about 4 years ago, it seemed like still a debated topic. I have not heard recently concern about shared services at the same level that I've heard in the past. Are you getting feedback still from the community that people are interested in a different model at this point?
I am not, and I think that the commitment to sharing the benefits on an annual basis is to make sure that that is something that everyone's aware of, so they don't get into this void that I think we were in when the boards were deciding on hiring one superintendent or two 4 years ago, where that debate was really in the forefront of everyone's mind. And while Jen and her team over the 19 years have issued reports saying the benefits, we agreed at that time that an annual report that people can expect would help keep everybody informed about the why, so the community is more informed. But I have heard zero conversation around this. I'm hoping that stays the same, because this is a tremendous benefit to our taxpayers when you think of the many districts in the Chicagoland area who are not doing shared services.
I'll applaud you for doing this work, Matt. I worked with many in the past on this question, and it was always a vexing one. It was hard for us to produce the data, but the consistent work that you and Jen have done have helped us enormously here, and I do think it's a compelling savings for taxpayers. I think it allows us to invest more in our schools, where we're trying to invest our dollars. So I am so glad that we come back to this report year in and year out, because it's such an important differentiator for our schools.
Thank you. If there's no further questions, we'll continue with the report. And I'm going to kick it over to Renee to talk about the Tri-District Retreat.
Thank you, Dr. Montgomery. This was a wonderful way to kick off the school year from a leadership and a planning experience. On August 4th and 5th, the leadership from 65, 67, and 115 came together for an inaugural tri-district admin retreat. 67 and 115 have always done this together, but this was our first year in including 65, and it was really powerful, and we were able to set our attentions together for the school year around our shared outcomes. We were working and centering our thinking around a know thyself as leaders and a strengths-based leadership couple of days. So, for example, some of you may have heard of the Gallup Strengths Finder, but much of our work was done through assessing who we were as if you've ever heard of Deloitte Business Chemistry, we really looked at who we were, what was our workflow style. We also were led through the 6 types of working genius from Tom Burton. He took us through some of that work, helped us look at what our gifts were and where we had to grow. And so with this combination of our strengths and areas to grow, I think we were really able to leave the day with some ideas and plans for working together as a balanced team, not just in 65 and 67 and 115, but together around those shared outcomes. And we really hope that we're able to do this continuing in the future. We were so happy to have Lisa Leali and her team.
I would just applaud both Erin and Renee for helping plan that. The idea for that first day of having all of the administrators together and finding one topic that is going to lift the whole group is quite a challenge, and I think they both knocked it out of the park, and thank you for their leadership. Phase 1 construction update. There was an update in the Finance and Ops Committee earlier this evening, forgive me, and we celebrated some of the work that is happening. Upwards of $14 million worth of construction has happened over the summer months, which is about 40 days of construction when you think about 60 days of construction that the crew had, with upwards of 110 tradespeople on site every day. So there's a lot of moving parts, and we're excited about everything that our students and our faculty are going to experience because of all of that hard work. You will see, if you've driven by the campus, you can see the work on the exterior, and I think that people will be wowed when they walk into the building, specifically in the areas that were touched around the world language classrooms, the robotics and the CAD lab, the special education spaces, and some of the science labs that were touched. We have an episode 13, Under the Hard Hat, is being released this week on the website. We watched it in the workshop. I thought they did a great job. And excited for the community to see through that video the work. And we're hosting the Capital Project Advisory Committee tomorrow at 8 a.m. at the high school, and we're inviting some additional guests to walk through the site. The board has been invited if they're able to attend, as well as other community members, to make sure they get to see what's happening and the work that's been done. Dr. Lennart, I think this one is yours.
I'm trying to figure out a clever way to work in my working geniuses into how I'm going to begin my part tonight, but that really was a great event and a great way for us to learn more about each other as leaders, so I applaud Dr. Montgomery, you as well, for your leadership and vision in bringing that together. Just to kick off, typically we would have a board spotlight. That's something that we love to bring to the board each month, and what we plan to do this year is a little bit different. Honing in on that theme of One Lake Forest High School, we're actually going to have staff members and faculty members who nominate students to be the spotlight student for that month. And we're hoping we can find students, we know we can easily find students, but we're hoping we'll bring you students who are living the mission and the vision of Lake Forest High School, and then also the staff member who nominated them too, because it really is a culture of care, and we want to celebrate each member of our community. So this year, Scout Up, ID On, and this is something that we've spent a lot of time this summer talking about, and that is that students will be wearing their IDs this year. We are joining 70% of the high schools in the country who are already requiring student IDs, and this is something that they will receive during their textbook MacBook pickup. It will be a blue and gold lanyard. What I really appreciate is that we will be able to very easily identify who are the students in the building, who are the visitors in the building, who are the staff in the building based on their lanyard colors. So more information to come about this from our safety and security director, Mr. Walsh, and also in my message to our students tomorrow. I will be reminding them of this. So we're excited. We're all a little bit nervous. Change is something that is sometimes a little nerve-wracking to implement, but we know it's for the right reasons. Next up, sorry, my slide deck's not moving.
It's okay. Thank you, Dr. Lamar. A quick celebration to the Varsity Field Flicks that happened on July 25th, where we showed Wicked Part 1. Over 200 people were in attendance. It had the nice Ravinia feel, and we were so happy to see that many people who came out for the evening and watched this wonderful movie together. It went so well that we are going to have our second Varsity Field Flicks on October 25th. showing Hotel Transylvania. The Montgomery children are excited about this. I can't figure out why, but we will be there. And that starts at 6 p.m. It was a great community feel, and it speaks to our commitment within the strategic plan about community outreach and engagement. I am especially excited about something that's not open to the community, that is an idea that came forward from our student leaders, which is a student council sponsored movie to kick off homecoming week, which is going to be Sunday, September 14th, and it will be open to all current LFHS students. We do not have the movie yet to announce. The students are working on it, but it is going to be in honor of the 90th, some movie from the 90s, and I can think of a whole bunch of them, some that are even socially acceptable. So we'll see what the students come up with, and it should be a great night for the students to be together.
All right, thanks to Nolan Olson, who is in the class of 2026. We have our beautiful logo here for our 90th anniversary this school year. And this is going to be a year that's full of celebration, and we're excited to be engaging in it. We have lots of activities that are planned throughout the year. It's going to be kicked off, or many of those activities kicked off with homecoming, September 19th, the homecoming football game, September 20th, Paul Bergman presentation, and it's going to be on Stanley Anderson and the design of Lake Forest High School. September 20th, we're going to have building tours, and then September 20th, you see here as well, we have that all alumni and community parking lot party at Gorton. If it rains, we do have an alternate plan to go inside as well. So we're excited about our 90th anniversary and all the things that we have planned this year. And then finally, of course, these are the back to school updates. It still very much feels like summer, right, because we're still a week out and actually a week later than we typically are. So Monday, August 25th, our teachers will return and our staff will return, and then we also have new family night at Lake Forest High School. Tuesday, August 26th, we will clap in our 9th grade students, and that's always exciting. Have our second Institute Day with our faculty and staff, and then of course we will welcome our students for the first day on Wednesday, August 27th. Just a reminder, we will have finals after winter break. This is something that we've worked on as a team to make sure that our students and our staff, our faculty, do actually have a true break over the winter holidays, and you'll hear more about that in the coming month.
That concludes the superintendent's report. Of course, we are happy to answer any questions should you have any.
All right, seeing no questions, we'll move on. Thank you, Doctor, right? Or something like that. All right, so like to move on to public participation, and seeing none, so we'll move on past that. If someone arrives, we'll make room for them. Liaison reports, Ed read in the legislative update. There's nothing significant, so I'll put anything in that needs to go in for September and or October as those things arise. True North Educational Cooperative, Amy was caught in flight traffic issues, and so she was unable to attend tonight. Apologize for that, as she asked. But if I could have Matt just give he's been leading the charge here with her attendance and other types of things around dealing a little bit with some of the True North issues in Educational Cooperative. So if I could have Dr. Montgomery just give us a 1-2 minute update on that picture at the moment.
Happy to. I'll be brief. The next Leadership Council meeting is happening on August 20th. I will be in attendance, and there is a continued discussion about the future of True North, with 18 of the 18 member districts expressing at least the initial or tentative desire to withdraw from the cooperative, which really began a conversation about potential dissolution of the cooperative and or a new budding conversation about reorganization. So there is many moving parts, and I am grateful that I've been able to be a part of the conversations and more to come. But again, the next meeting is on August 20th, and the board will be getting updates on the outcomes of that meeting.
And thank you for that, but also thank you for your time. So the time and investment Matt and the leadership team are making towards True North and solving that, and also dealing with some of the complexities has been, I think, a few more hours than just hours. But I really appreciate that commitment for us. Moving on to action items, we'll be going through a couple of these, and then I think we're going to make one slight change. So action items, if moving on to that, Could I have may I have a motion to approve action item number 1, the 2025-2026 tentative budget, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion, and actually we would probably have one, but just before we lead in the discussion, if we get a little bit of a comment, Jen, from your side. I think we talked about it in workshop, but if you just want to give us a quick little summary of the process and the window of time for this and why we're doing it now.
Sure, I'm happy to. As you did mention, this is the tentative budget, which means that this will go on public display. It will remain on display from tonight up until the point of the board September meeting where we will take final action. We will make changes as it is tentative, and we do have information, as we said, literally coming in today that will impact some of our revenues, and we will be still working on some of our expenditures. So although we would consider it somewhat complete, it is not yet final. There is a lot of information in there. The state form is what it's included in your packet. That is what we're required to file with ISB. In addition to that, you will also receive in your final budget packet for September, you will see what we call the prettier forms, which is more information that's kind of on a district format. We will provide some history, some backup, some information. It's a little more charts and graphs, and something we think is a little bit more community friendly in order to maybe answer some of those questions that some of our constituents may have.
Thank you so much. Any questions or discussion? All right, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. Zinser,
Aye.
Ms. Helms,
Aye.
Mr. Weinbrenner,
Aye.
Mrs. Gamrath,
Aye.
Mr. Noble.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 2, may I have a motion to approve the Interprenet contract for the 2025-2026 school year for language services, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All right, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Weinbrenner,
Aye.
Mr. Noble,
Aye.
Mrs. Gamrath,
Aye.
Ms. Zinser,
Aye.
Ms. Helms.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 3, may I have a motion to approve the Assured Healthcare Contract 2025-2026?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion?
I had one quick question here. There was a distinction between the amount that we expect that this won't exceed or that it will not exceed, and then the sort of when there's someone hired on a sort of full-time basis versus a part-time basis, that the distinction was pretty large. Could anybody speak to that? I know Jenny's not here, and she wrote the summarizing memo, but
I can't provide that right now, but I will have Jenny follow up with you directly because she was the one that was directly interfacing with them.
great.
Are you asking, can you say your question again just to make sure I get it?
And I'm sorry she's not here. It just was, I view this more as hiring sort of short-term fill-in needs, but it appears to be sort of there if we have somebody who goes out more on a long-term basis. And there was I think the limit for the short-term was $1,000 and the limit for long-term was $35,000. I was just surprised that we made that sharp of a distinction. So to me, it clearly is there for a long-term need, not short-term, and I just was hoping for an explanation. So maybe she could just provide
Yeah,
that.
I will make sure there's an update in the weekly update. Phil may be able to add some.
Yeah, so if I may, the expectation is that it is for the short term. This is an agency that we only use for sub-nurses as needed, but it was written for that max in the event that something would be for a full year, which we do not anticipate happening at all.
Thanks.
And if I read it correctly, the short term, those were caps for short term and a cap for long term, correct?
Yes.
All right. May I have a roll call vote?
Mrs. Gamrath,
Aye.
Mr. Weinbrenner,
Aye.
Mr. Noble,
Aye.
Ms. Helms,
Aye.
Ms. Zinser.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 4, may I have a motion to approve the Barbara Marbury Breezy LLC Consultant Agreement 2025-2026?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on this? All right, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. Helms,
Aye.
Ms. Zinser,
Aye.
Mr. Noble,
Aye.
Mr. Weinbrenner,
Aye.
Mrs. Gamrath.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Right. We have a consent agenda from items 1 through 8, and are there any motions to remove any items from the consent agenda?
I'd move that we remove the personnel, the human resources report from the consent agenda.
So item number 2. May I have a second?
Second.
Procedure-wise, do we need a roll call vote to do that, or we just pull it? We just separate it? Okay. All right, so may I have a motion, any others that need to be pulled out? All right, seeing none, we'll go through, may I have a motion to approve items 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the consent agenda, please?
So moved.
Second.
May I have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. Helms,
Aye.
Mr. Weinbrenner,
Aye.
Ms. Zinser,
Aye.
Mrs. Gamrath,
Aye.
Mr. Noble.
Aye.
Motion carries.
May I have a motion to approve item number 2 of the consent agenda individually, the approval of the human resource report, hires, resignations, retirements, leave of absence, change of assignments, stipends, activities, and additional assignments, please?
So moved.
Second.
May I have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. Helms,
Aye.
Mr. Noble,
Aye.
Mr. Weinbrenner,
I abstain.
Mrs. Gamrath,
Aye.
Ms. Zinser.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. FOIA requests, we have several, and those are all posted online for folks if they wish to view them. Hope Moses, 1 of 1 completed. Owen Wang, 9 of 9 completed. L. Lawlett, 3 of 3 completed. Frank McCormick, 4 of 4 completed. Brenda Lloyd, 1 of 1 completed. C.T. Mills, 1 of 1 completed. Sherry Reed, 1 of 1 completed. Steve Watts, 1 of 1 completed. No additional public participation. So concluding up announcements, well, school is starting soon, so I think we gave those dates. So I think it's first day is the 27th of August, so we'll throw that there for fun for announcements. Tuesday, September 16th, Committee of a whole, as well as our next board meeting, education meeting will be on September 16th. And I think before that we have a Labor Day and a couple other days. So lots of fun stuff. Will excite, and if I could have a motion to adjourn Lake Forest Community High School District 115 board meeting for August 12th, 2025, please.
So moved.
Second.
May I have a voice vote, please? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thanks so much.